If I was to ask you, what does an execute look like in CSGO? Most of you would probably say it's when a team throws their smokes and their mollies onto a site to isolate the CT players and then flash themselves in with some other type of utility to try and take control of the site and then have to hold it in an after-plant positioning. And you wouldn't be wrong in saying this. However, there are other types of pushes as well, ones where teams almost push through the choke points before the smokes and mollies land, and this can result in CTs potentially getting picked off unaware the push is coming in. They can be caught not having time to throw their own cannon utilities, molotovs, etc. And of course it gives a lot less time for the CTs to rotate in and help out their teammates, as the T side is a lot closer to the choke points when the push initially comes in. So let's break down that round you saw with Astralis pushing out A long on overpass and talk about the map control and what goes on initially. So you can see Glaive is going to go for some very early map control over towards the toilets area. It's not super aggressive, it's just these first choke points that he's smoking off, molotoving off. It's the same with Dupree. Notice they threw a flash early towards the long area, but there's been no further flashes around the long area or anything with Dupree sneaking up here. He's being really quiet, not giving anything away that this take is coming in. And as Zipex joins him, I want you to look at the other side of the map actually, and we're going to talk about what Magisk does almost to sell a little mini fake, which ends up being quite effective for a couple of reasons. The first one being that there hasn't been really any hand shown from Astralis that they have any aggressive A control. As you can see, the initial take from Glaive involved a smoke here, one molotov here, and a flash over towards the A long area. And all this indicates to Team Liquid is that they've taken control of maybe this more passive area. They haven't pushed up, especially towards the long area. It can be quite common to flash into these kind of choke points when you're peeking. We saw Dupree dry peeking it. Same thing with long. You can be very wary of an AWPing this kind of angle, but if you have the balls almost just to walk out and dry peek, such as Dupree does in this scenario, you're able to sneak up and you're not showing the CT side that you have any kind of presence over here, any kind of aggressive map control over towards the A site. So when Magisk just throws one smoke and one flash, it actually starts to draw a rotation from Team Liquid. We can see they end up with only Nitro left alive over on the A side itself. So you see Magisk, good hold taken on him. Naf takes him down relatively easily, but Elysia is rotating in here. And as I already said, this leaves Nitro alone on the A site. Now obviously this makes things a little bit easier when executing onto the site, the fact there's only one player there. I want to talk about the timings of things that happen, and the one piece of utility, the Molotov thrown by Device, and how this all works out. So obviously Device has got scoped in down here, he's covering Dupree if anyone tries to peek him, kind of like his Guardian Angel. What I'm more interested in is this Molotov timing and where it lands, which is over towards the truck area. So as Device switches over, you see there's Magisk getting taken out by Naf, and this Molotov starts to get thrown. Now I want to talk about the spacing initially between Zipex and Device. You can see they're checking each other's backs. They're in a great trading distance from each other here, ready to trade each other quite quickly. But if we swing back to this Molotov from Device, we'll see as it lands, the positioning of the two players entering, Dupree and Zipex. So the Molotov's landing right now, and Nitro's thinking, I've got to start adjusting, maybe trying to throw some cannon utility. But let's look at Dupree and Zipex. So Dupree is out here, peeking to the left, and Zipex is out here towards the right side of this center box, I guess you'd say. And the important thing to note is the Molotov lands over towards the truck area. You might think, why is this? Well, the players are coming up long, and think about the two spots they can't see. Zipex wraps around here, he can maybe check this angle, he can check either side of this box, he's now checking the toilets area. Also important to note that the Glaive comes in here a little bit late to try and clear things out, so there isn't that kind of flank element potentially if Team Liquid still have aggressive bathrooms control. But then Dupree is out here peeking the left-hand side, so they've really got all of site covered. They've got eyes on the whole of site, except for potentially somewhere tucked away at truck, which is where this Molotov lands to perfectly flush that player out. And we can see Nitro isn't really aware that this take could be coming in from the players. He's just worried about backing up for this Molotov, gets a nasty surprise from Dupree. Zipex is there from his other angle as they've spread out to cover all of site, as I already said. And Nitro gets taken down quite easily. Now the player rotates in and Elysia, and he gets the first kill, but Dupree is there straight away to trade it off, and the smoke pops in his face anyway. So right now we're talking about that aggressive map control, as I already said in the intro. The fact that doing this type of execute allows you some extra time to set up while the players have to rotate in, and this ends up being a huge issue for Team Liquid because of the position Dupree's able to get into. You see often with these executes, they might be able to hold you off at bank or hold you off at these kind of positions, but Dupree's able to get in here, play very aggressive, and he ends up being the pivotal player in holding off this retake from Team Liquid. So you can see he's going to sit in here, getting very aggressive again. The rest of his players are playing a kind of normal setup, so Dupree, there's nothing here. He had utility left, he's able to swing back out. And when you just think about that as a whole, the fact that Dupree was able to hold all his utility because he saved it all, because obviously they were dry peeking out towards this kind of area, but he has a Molotov coupled with a smoke at the bank area, which leaves Team Liquid no choice but to all push out the dumpster area, which makes bank ridiculously overpowered and a great crossfire from the players in bathroom, and you're looking from bank. There's really nothing Team Liquid could do. I'll probably hit you with the more complex of the two to start with over towards Overpice with the fake and stuff being involved. But this round's no difference, even though it is a little bit more simple as you can explode onto the A site without really taking any map control away from the CTs. What I'm talking about is just running out blue door and taking the A site. So that's what we're going to look at in this particular round. It's going to be a little bit more quick, and hopefully I don't need to explain so many things to you this time around. So initially we're going to see obviously Zipex throwing some utility over towards the B site to keep them honest over towards there. Device is still applying pressure here towards middle, and this is just to make sure that there's no stack coming in from phase. They're not reading that they're going to go towards A, and we can see that this pressure has come in only a few seconds ago. Device has just been seen, he's fired off his AWP shot. They know that they're probably not ready to execute Astralis, at least that's the indication they're giving. You normally don't execute without your AWPer there. That's just how the game's played, we all know that. But the thing is, Nico is going to be left alone because of this. Carrigan and Olivmeister want to play double over here towards mid because of this presence, and Guardian and Rain also here over towards B. And I wanted to focus on Nico's reaction to the fact that the players are just bursting out the blue door, and what he does. So he has his smoke grenade left, so as soon as this blue door opens, he wants to smoke off A main, so he can concentrate on the blue door area, and just make sure not too much is going on. And you can see the smoke comes out, and he swings, and he's thinking, here's Zipex. I've heard no smokes, no mollies, no flashes pop from Astralis, yet I'm already dealing with a player after just throwing my first smoke and no time to throw any other utility he has. Doesn't have time to throw his own smoke, he has to try and check things out. If Nico does check towards blue door, maybe get the initial kill, he's probably going to flash himself out to reposition. This is not an option at all. Zipex is out here. He says, unlucky Nico. And this ends up being a bit of a bullying from Astralis. You can see Zipex jumps to a red, extremely confident. They want to keep phase away. And this plays back to what I was talking about before. The fact that this type of execute, it's different to if you throw your smokes out here like you might traditionally, because they start to fly over the CTs. Nico can say, here's some smokes coming in. Carrigan, get up here and help me out. So Carrigan's thinking, yeah, I'm on my way here. But look at this. Dupree's out here towards the A site. The rest of the players have control, and Carrigan's still all the way back here past this box area. Like, he can't do anything. Dupree's all the way out here, and look at the utility being thrown. This is when the utility gets thrown, because right now there's so much more extra time left on it as the after plant comes in. There's more time that phase have to wait before they can execute onto the site. And Device as well. He's just continuing to apply this pressure we saw that started off from Zipex. He's not giving anything up. Carrigan gets taken out. He's fighting Guardian, always a risky thing, but he doesn't have his AWP, so he's probably okay in this round. But as soon as these two players go out, there's nothing left for phase to do. And again, it's very similar to the last round, a little bit simpler because you are just running out this blue door onto the site where you can see there's no time for anyone to rotate in. That's the beauty of these type of takes, and why I actually really like them and love throwing them in every now and then. I feel you have players that you can coordinate with, and it makes you think when you say, that guy was so random, he didn't flash or anything, and he killed me. Is he actually being random, or is this some kind of calculated risk he's taking, such as this scenario? Obviously, it's risky not to flash off certain angles, but you can also reap the reward and just straight bully players out of the site. Because you think about the fact that even if there's two players over here towards the A site, maybe Carrigan's set up with Nico, they've got a player here on the quad area and a player here on this kind of area. If you have 5 players streaming at you with no one close by to help you out, just the numbers game is what the T side is relying on. They can trade each other and just push you out of the site. They end up with 2 or 3 players left alive. They have a chance in the afterplant, and it's a great opportunity to take a T round. That's it, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you like this type of execute, or you think the more traditional type and that Mirage clip I showed at the very beginning is better. And I'll catch you all later.